Now, the war of Sardars has once again taken centre stage in Punjab. Speaking exclusively to India today here, Charanjit Singh Channi's brother has said that he was denied a ticket despite being an eligible candidate, and that he has alleged Navjot Singh Sidhu is behind this, behind not getting a ticket. In fact, he blames the senior leadership of being misled. Charanjit Singh Channi's brother has alleged now that what is being done is unfair and will contest independently now. Manohar Singh has resigned as a senior medical officer to contest elections this time from Bassi Pathana constituency. He was denied a ticket by the Congress and now he stands as an independent candidate. Sources have suggested that Navjot Singh Sidhu was against the ticket there to Channi's brother and threw his weight behind the current MLA of that constituency. The Congress party has subsequently named sitting legislator Gurpreet Singh GP in its first list of candidates.
नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू ने पहले अनाउंस किया, ही इज प्रेसिडेंट, अनाउंस कर सकता है कि मेरा कैंडिडेट है ये है, लेकिन उसको प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना होगा। जो प्रोसीजर उसने फॉलो नहीं किया, पहले ही डिक्लेयर कर दिया, यहाँ के लोगों को उसने कंफ्यूजन में डाला कि ये कैंडिडेट होगा। फिर उसने यहाँ के कुछ एमएलएज हैं, उन्होंने मिसगाइड किया है वहाँ जाके कि नहीं नहीं जी, चन्नी का भाई नहीं जीत पाएगा, चन्नी को भाई को टिकट मत दे देना, ऐसे ना हो जाए, ऐसे ना हो जाए। ये काम करके उन्होंने गलत बात करके ये लोगों के साथ धोखा किया, मेरे साथ धोखा किया। लोगों ने इकट्ठे होकर मुझे कल बताया कि तुम इंडिपेंडेंट लड़ो, मैं इंडिपेंडेंट लड़ रहा हूँ।
All right, let me quickly cut across to Kamaljeet Sandhu joining us for more. Kamaljeet, we saw you speaking to Manohar, who is the brother of Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi. He's hoping for a ticket from the Congress. The Congress has denied him. He says, dhoka hua hai. Why does he say that he was cheated by the Congress?
Well, we caught hold of Dr. Manohar while he was on his way to meet his own brother, Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi. Now, he's been saying that there's been politics behind him not getting a ticket from Bassi Pantha. That's the way his constituency is. He's now contesting as an independent candidate. He says that he was misled, that the party was being misled by several leaders, including the High Command as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu, saying that he has been a target of politics. When we asked him whether this is politics between the brother as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu, who is the PCC chief, he said there may be politics between them, but I have no role to play in that. I am considerably a small fish, and he said it should have been based on merit, that he tried to reach out to the top leadership of the Congress party. He said he won the ticket and he won the seat last time around as an independent. He will do it yet again. But he's saying he is actually dismayed by the sense of politics. But clearly what he's doing is he's hitting out at Navjot Singh Sidhu, saying one of the reasons for him not getting the ticket is the PCC chief. And whether GP or Gurpreet Singh GP, who's the candidate from Congress party, he says he may be one of those who've been selected on behalf of Navjot Singh Sidhu, but clearly he will defeat him. And once that's being done, he said the Congress is likely to win in Punjab. But he says once he wins, that his own favour will also be Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi. He says politics aside, he'll continue to support his brother. But obviously, he's hitting out at Navjot Singh Sidhu. Very clearly, the politics is not just between the Chief Minister as well as Sidhu. It is also between the brother. And we asked him whether it gives a wrong sense of signal to the people that Channi cannot call the shots. He said there's a politics at a different level, on the top level, that he, or a personal level, can do much better on his own as well. And he will prove it to the Congress party by winning this particular seat.
All right, Kamaljeet, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Now, in Punjab, it appears that the chorus to defer assembly elections only grows. The poll panel is now meeting shortly to discuss the demand made by all political parties, mostly. Earlier, after Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi requested the Election Commission to postpone elections by a week because Guru Ravidas Jayanti is ideally observed on that day. AAP has also now joined in that chorus, asking to postpone elections. Union Minister Som Prakash has written to the Election Commission requesting them to reschedule elections in Punjab post February 18th. BJP ally Captain Amarinder Singh's Punjab Lok Congress has also suggested the same. He supported the Congress's demand to defer polls. In fact, the request was made because scheduled caste community will be visiting Varanasi in large numbers on the occasion of Ravidas Jayanti from February 10th to 16th and will be unable to cast their vote at that time. Ravidas was known for the work to remove casteism from society, and Sikh Dalits see Ravidas as their real spiritual guide. So his birthplace, Varanasi, is a significant pilgrimage site for devotees. 32% of Punjab's population are Dalits and 10% are ardent followers of Guru Ravidas. And according to Chief Minister Channi, 20 lakh devotees will be visiting Varanasi on Ravidas Jayanti.
मेरी इलेक्शन कमीशन अगे हथ बन के बेनती है कि क्योंकि ਲੱਖਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਭਾਵਨਾਵਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੋਟ ਵੀ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਧਿਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹਰਟ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਠੇਸ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਕਿ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਣ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਤਰੀਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤਾ ਵਧਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਦਰ ਤੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਵੀ ਟੇਕ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਰਾਈਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੰਵਿਧਾਨਕ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਗੇ
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਵਿਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ 'ਚ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਮਨਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਪਰ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਾਦਾਦ 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਬਨਾਰਸ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਮਨਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਸੋ ਇਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ 'ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂਆਂ ਲਈ 14 ਫਰਵਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਣਾ ਸੰਭਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡੇਟ ਹੈ ਪੋਲਿੰਗ ਦੀ VOTING ਦੀ ਉਸ ਡੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਉਤਸਵ ਵੀ ਮਨਾ ਸਕਣ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਵੀ ਮਨਾ ਸਕਣ ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕਤੰਤਰਿਕ ਅਧਿਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੋਟ ਵੀ ਪਾ ਸਕਣ
Now, 32 farmer unions of Punjab have launched protests together over farm laws back in 2020. But turns out that they were united in the agitation but are divided in election. As Punjab prepares for the February 14th vote, the state's farmers are now contesting the polls, have lost fraternity support. Now, a special report that's been filed by my colleague Manohar Singh from Punjab. Let's cut across.
Together in solidarity. Punjab's 32 farmer unions in rare unison for a year along the borders of New Delhi. United in agitation, divided in elections. 10 of the 32 unions are clearly not with the farmers contesting the polls. Worse, Punjab's largest Bharatiya Kisan Union Ekta Ugrahan has now declared it won't even formally support the farmer party in elections.
ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਚੋਣਾਂ 'ਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੇਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਉਹ ਪਾਉਣ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਪਾਉਣ
Led by 78-year-old farmer leader Balbir Singh Rajewal, the Sanyukt Samaj Morcha of the 22 farmer unions is fielding candidates on all 117 seats of the state. This in a seat-sharing arrangement with the Sanyukt Sangharsh Party of the Haryana-based farmer leader Gurnam Singh Charoni.
Farmers in Punjab's electoral battle insist they want to bring in politics of economic inclusion and collective decision-making. But unambiguous and unequivocal support from the state's entire farming community is critical for success at the hustings.
Ugrahan's left-leaning union is believed to hold sway in Punjab's Malwa belt, home to as many as 69 seats. The union in general opposes the lawmaking process, which it alleges favors big business houses and global economic agenda. If that wasn't enough, another setback just arrived. The joint front of farmers involved in the protest has parted company with Punjab's Sanyukt Samaj Morcha.
हमारा कोई विरोध करने का कोई अधिकार किसी का नहीं है उनने बनाया वे चुनाव अपना लड़े लेकिन संयुक्त मोर्चे का नाम ना ले और 4 महीने के बाद में हम पूर्ण रूप से बातचीत होगी उसके बाद में क्या रहेगा वे वापसी आएंगे क्या रहेगा उसके बाद की बात
S.S. Boparai, a former IAS official and several other retired bureaucrats launched the Kirti Kisan Forum in support of protesting farmers last year. A proponent of farmers' direct participation in politics, This Padma Shri recipient calls for farmer unity in Punjab elections.
Politics not being allowed in economic activity, I think that is a hassle which is bothering the minds of the farmers. I think they should get out of this mental block, get into politics and support each other and win the elections and sort out the problems of the farmers.
A potential alliance between the farmers' political wing and the Aam Aadmi Party also did not materialize. The Sanyukt Kisan Morcha is awaiting recognition from the Election Commission.
Time is running out for the February 14 vote in Punjab. But at least at this stage, the style of the state's farming leadership looks completely at odds with the camaraderie they displayed during the agitation. With camera person Dalveer Singh, this is Harmeet Shah Singh from Kapurthala for India Today.
Now, ahead of Uttarakhand Assembly polls, Minister Harith Singh Rawat has been dismissed from the state cabinet. He has been expelled by the BJP from primary membership to hold primary membership of the party for at least the next 6 years. Speaking exclusively to India Today, he said that he will now be joining the Congress party but has yet to meet Sonia Gandhi. He's also claimed that Congress will form the government in the state of Uttarakhand. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has also written to the governor about removal of Rawat from the cabinet. BJP has said that this gives out a strong message that the BJP is a party which does not tolerate indiscipline and does not bow to pressure of any kind. In fact, Rawat, who represents the Kotwar seat in the state assembly, is said to have been seeking a ticket for his daughter-in-law Anukriti Hussain from the Lansdowne constituency and a change of seat for himself. Rawat was in the news recently when he threatened to resign from the state cabinet, insisting on his demand for a medical college in Haridwar. An emotional video of Harith Singh Rawat after being sacked from the BJP has also now surfaced.
मेरे लिए आज सबसे बड़ी खुशी का दिन है कि जो एक बोझ था मेरे मन में और मैं कोई ना निगल सक रहा था ना उगल सक रहा था, आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मैं नेतृत्व का बहुत धन्यवाद दे रहा हूं कि उन्होंने मुझे निष्कासित किया। मुझे एक शायद उनके इस निर्णय से उत्तराखंड का भला होने वाला है, उत्तराखंड के लोगों को कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है। देखिए, कांग्रेस सरकार प्रदेश में पहले ही भी आ रही थी, लेकिन अब पूरे प्रचंड बहुमत से आएगी कि जिससे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को तोड़फोड़ करने का, जिस तरह 2016 में हमारे माध्यम से तोड़फोड़ की, इस तरह तोड़फोड़ करने का मौका भारतीय जनता पार्टी को नहीं मिलेगा।
हमारी पार्टी हमेशा विकासवाद पर चलने वाली पार्टी है, राष्ट्रवाद पर चलने वाली पार्टी है, वंशवाद से दूर चलने वाली पार्टी है। यहाँ पर चूंकि स्थितियां ऐसी हो गई कि वो अपने समेत अपने परिवार के लिए और अन्य लोगों के लिए पार्टी पर दबाव कर रहे थे, तो इसलिए पार्टी ने निर्णय लिया।
देखिए, वो अपने परिवार के लोगों के लिए टिकट मांग रहे थे, ये निश्चित बात है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी परिवार आधारित परिवार नहीं। अगर उसने कोई समाज में काम किया हो, राजनीति में कोई संघर्ष किया हो, समाज के लिए कुछ काम किया हो, तो वो तब जाके कहीं उसका बारे में विचार पार्टी करती है। लेकिन अगर व्यक्ति यही आधार पे कि वो किसी की बहू है, किसी की बेटी है, और इस आधार पे टिकट मांगे, तो ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी स्वीकार नहीं था। और इसी कारण जो है दो टूक शब्दों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे सीनियर नेताओं ने उनको समझा दिया था कि ये यहाँ नहीं होता, ये कांग्रेस में होता, आप कांग्रेस में चले जाइए।
चुनावी मौसम में जो है वो लोग जो है वो सियासी सैर करने निकलते ही हैं, इधर से उधर जाते हैं। लेकिन उससे उन पार्टियों का, विशेष तौर से भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जो किसी परिवार के पालने में पैदा नहीं हुई बल्कि परिश्रम और पराक्रम से पैदा हुई है, उस पर असर नहीं पड़ता।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने हरक सिंह जी को जो है मंत्रिपरिषद से बर्खास्त करने का निर्णय लिया, ये उनका अंदरूनी मामला है। लेकिन सरकार के इस निर्णय से हरक सिंह रावत जी आहत हैं और उन्होंने जो मीडिया को कहा है कि मैं अब जो है कांग्रेस को अपनी सेवा देने का काम करूंगा, अब उनकी कांग्रेस में वापसी के परिप्रेक्ष्य में जो है राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व निर्णय लेगा और जो निर्णय राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व लेगा हम सबको स्वीकार्य होगा।
Now, shifting focus here to some tableau politics that's escalated ahead of Republic Day parade. After Mamata Banerjee, Karnataka's leader of opposition and former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has now cornered the Modi government, alleging rejection of tableau featuring the very famous Kerala reformer Narayan Guru. While seeking an apology, the Congress leader in a series of tweets has accused the centre of disrespecting Kerala icon Narayan Guru and added that the rejection of his tableau has exposed the BJP and its intentions. Narayan Guru was a social reformer who fought against caste system and led a reform movement in Kerala. Siddaramaiah's charges have come after Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee wrote a letter to Prime Minister Modi alleging exclusion of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's tableau. Mamata in her letter has said that the centre's decision has hurt sentiments of people of Bengal. She's asked the Prime Minister to reconsider this decision. In fact, she further alleges that the tableau was abruptly excluded from the Republic Day parade without giving any prior explanation to the state.
This is the third time the central government is rejecting the tableau of Sri Guru Narayan. Guru Narayan is a great saint of Kerala. It's very unfortunate the people who talk of social justice, people who talk of respecting the Hindu sentiments, or rejecting the man who was solely responsible to stop the exodus of Hindus from its fold to Christianity or Islam. It's very unfortunate. It clearly shows the hidden agenda of the Bharatiya Janata Party or the RSS, wherein they don't tolerate anybody other than the people who believe in Manusmriti. This is a very sad part.
All right, now as a standoff over import duties continues between the centre and Tesla, a number of state governments have been apparently trying to woo and outdo the other in rolling out the red carpet there for the American electric vehicle manufacturer Tesla. After Telangana and Maharashtra, now Punjab appears to be in the latest to invite the company wholeheartedly. Let's take a look.
He's known for his super slick, futuristic, zero-emissions supercars. And now billionaire Elon Musk is spoiled for choice. Indian states are furiously competing to drive in Musk's Tesla, sending out one invite after another to the e-car giant to set up shop. Punjab Congress chief Navjot Singh Sidhu dashed an invite on Twitter offering industrial city Ludhiana as the hub for Tesla. And a slew of sops like single window clearance. Musk had sparked off the furious race after tweeting about a lot of challenges with the government. Musk's tweet led to several states rushing in with invites for the billionaire. Telangana's Industry and Commerce Minister K.T. Ramarao was the first one to invite Tesla to invest in the state. West Bengal's Minority Affairs and Madrasa Education Minister Mohammad Ghulam Rabbani asked Musk to invest in his state as it has the best infrastructure. The Aghadi government in Maharashtra was not left behind. Water Resources Minister and State NCP Chief Jayant Patil also invited Tesla. But despite clamour by states, the centre has rejected Elon Musk's claims on facing challenges. Sources say that Musk is merely trying to put pressure on the government through social media and wants a cut in import duties on its cars without committing to Make in India. The central government even asserting that they will not bow to such pressure tactics. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to address the World Economic Forum's Davos Agenda virtual event at 8:30 p.m. this evening. The virtual event will be starting from 17th of January and concludes on the 21st of Jan. Davos event will feature heads of state and government, CEOs and other leaders to address critical challenges. This is the second consecutive year here that the forum has had to host the summit digitally due to COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the event is being convened on the theme of the state of the world. In addition here to Prime Minister Modi, Japan's Prime Minister Kishida Fumio, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison will be addressing the summit as well. In fact, the forum has been hosting its annual meeting in the Swiss ski resort town of Davos for 50 years, but this time due to the pandemic, that hasn't happened. The event has been deferred until early summer for this year as well due to the ongoing surge in COVID. Now, of course, desperate times calls for desperate measures. The COVID pandemic, fueled by the Omicron variant, has now once again hampered wedding season across the globe. This Tamil Nadu couple here comes up with a super tech fix. In the first, the couple is all set to host their wedding on the Metaverse. The groom, who is a project associate with IIT Madras, came up with this idea, tweeted the announcement on Twitter. In fact, the couple met through social media, fell in love after several hurdles, finally convinced their family to agree for their wedding. And according to the couple, the Metaverse reception project has been in works just for the last 2 weeks, and that the couple will also be having a mock drill of their wedding on the 22nd of Jan to see how this concept works. Now, a Congress MLA in Jharkhand is under fire for promising roads as smooth as Kangana Ranaut's cheeks. Congress MLA Irfan Ansari, in a video that was released a few days ago, has now assured people in his constituency of Jamtara that construction work on 14 roads will begin soon and that roads in the area will be as smooth as Kangana Ranaut's cheeks. These are his comments. The comment has led to a political showdown as the BJP has now latched on to this controversial statement, asking Priyanka Gandhi if she will sack this sexist neta or at least condemn the comment. The BJP has also reminded the party of the Congress MLA from Karnataka, Ramesh Kumar's comments in the State Assembly where he laughingly said to enjoy rape.
14 महत्वपूर्ण सड़कें आदिवासी मूल वासियों के लिए मैंने दिया है। मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं, ये 14 महत्वपूर्ण सड़कें हैं। ये फिल्म अदाकारा जो कंगना रनावत है, उनकी गाल से भी चिकनी सड़कें मैं बनाने जा रहा हूं। 14 महत्वपूर्ण सड़कें आदिवासी मूल वासियों के लिए मैंने दिया है। मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं, ये 14 महत्वपूर्ण सड़कें हैं। ये फिल्म अदाकारा जो कंगना रनावत है, उनकी गाल से भी चिकनी सड़कें मैं बनाने जा रहा हूं।
Now, meanwhile, the BJP has reminded the Congress of a comment that was made by their MLA weeks ago in Karnataka. He was heard to have said that one must enjoy rape and not take action. Let's take a quick listen as to what he had to say.
ಈ ರೇಪ್ ವಿಕ್ಟಿಮ್ ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಂದು. ರೇಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅತ್ಲಾಗ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ರೇಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅವನ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ವಕೀಲರು ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರು ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈಶ್ವರಪ್ಪನವ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಕೇಳಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ದ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ದ, ಹೆಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಏನು. ನನಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೇಪ್ ತಿಂಗಳು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಕ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಆತ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ, ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಸಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ.
All right, let me quickly cut across to Shehzad Poonawalla, who's joining us on the phone line with this regard. Shehzad, what we hear of Congress MLA Irfan Ansari, he speaks about how he wants to come up with roads and renovation, and that will be as smooth as Kangana Ranaut's cheeks. This is a Congress MLA from Jharkhand who's made this comment. We saw a similar comment that was derogatory enough on rape a Congress MLA in Karnataka had made just a few weeks ago. Your take on that?
Priyanka Vajra says, "Ladki hu lad sakti hu," but she should begin the ladki hu fight against the ladkas of Congress who time and again make these sexist and completely condemnable remarks about women, objectifying and commodifying women. Irfan Ansari is not a lone ranger. Mr. Rajendra Gudda, minister in Rajasthan government, made a similar comparison to Katrina Kaif's cheeks. You had a Maharashtra government minister making a comparison to Hema Malini's cheeks. I don't understand the obsession these men have by objectifying and commodifying women, and more importantly, why does Priyanka Vajra stay quiet? And because of her silence, you see even the governance, it translates into that Alwar, not a single rape accused has been caught till now, and they have actually declared that it was not a rape. So, you know, when you don't take action against the Karnataka MLA or Irfan Ansari type people, this sexist, patriarchal and misogynistic mindset translates into governance, and then it leads to an Alwar, and then on Alwar you deny the entire instinct of rape. And this is the kind of ladki hu lad sakti hu empty slogan that Priyanka Vadra gives, but never does any action against these kinds of MLAs. I hope she will take some action on Irfan Ansari and the rest of the ladkas of Congress who are hell-bent on making life very, very miserable for women with their cheap and sexist patriarchal comments.
Well, Ramesh, Karnataka Congress MLA had recently apologized. Do you think it's now mandatory for this Congress Neta from Jharkhand to quickly apologize for what he said?
It's not a question of just apologizing. The mindset will not go because he apologizes. Priyanka Vadra should tell us that what is the point of her claiming to give some tickets in Uttar Pradesh when she is going to make those women of Congress party sit with such men in the party forum. And therefore, she should tell us whether she will take action against Irfan Ansari. In fact, the Congress has rehabilitated somebody who's been accused of sexual offences into their party and made them a secretary. The Congress party has such leaders all across the country, from Karnataka to Rajasthan to Maharashtra. When will Ms. Priyanka Vadra actually open her mouth and take action against these people? Because if she doesn't, then what happens is that in governments where they run governments, where few places, there the governance is completely against women, and you can see that in the Alwar case.
Shehzad, right. Well, we heard you, Shehzad. Thank you very much for joining us with those details. Let me cut across to Satyajit joining us for more on that. Satyajit, this Congress Neta from Jharkhand making a remark saying that he's going to come up, revamp roads in his constituency and it will be as smooth as Kangana Ranaut's cheeks. Any objection that the Congress party has taken to their own MLA's comment?
No, there is a strong silence from the Congress side. None of the state leadership has issued any show cause or issued a statement against him. And it seems that now it has become a habit and knack of Irfan Ansari to hog the limelight in this way by making derogatory remarks against ladies and women. And he has been told also by BJP workers. Now BJP state president has said that he has taken a strong cognizance and they will agitate against it. BJP is in a no mood to spare Irfan Ansari this time round, and they have on record said that they will agitate from the road to house, and if required they will take a legal course also. But this is a insult, and this remark is a derogatory remark, and this has let down the entire state. It is an insult of the women of the entire state. The way he has spoken. Okay, he says, but on the other hand, over phone, Irfan Ansari told us exclusively to India Today that he did not meant that he didn't wanted to make a derogatory remark. His sense was he was very overwhelmed since 14 roads were passed after a long time, but it was a slip of tongue. Now he has started saying, but he is yet to apologize on records. And after that, he has not apologized. He has not sought apology, or he has not come on record saying that it was his mistake.
Satendra, thank you very much. Satyajit, thank you very much for bringing us those details. Let's hope better sense prevails and Irfan Ansari now agrees to apologize for that sexist remark he's made. All right, now, even with stringent COVID-19 protocols in place, an ongoing surge of COVID-19, of course, Omicron cases only on the rise in the state of Karnataka. We're looking at former BBMP corporator NR Ramesh, who's now seen taking out a massive procession for his birthday and hosting a big event with hundreds of people in Bengaluru gathering there on the January 14th. In fact, in separate incident again, another BJP MLA on Sunday in Jagalur, BJP MLA SP Ramachandra has celebrated his birthday in front of his residence, gathering hordes of people to celebrate for his birthday. In fact, that resulted in many of them coming together, flouting COVID norms blatantly. And on the other hand, we also saw a pandal that was erected near Gullama temple, where the police present there was also seen greeting the Neta. Instead of stopping them, he was almost compliant with all that violation that was taking place brazenly. The state government had on Friday asked the government to strictly impose all COVID SOPs across the state and ban all rallies and processions too. Now, let me quickly take you through the numbers, the COVID-19 numbers that we see across India. A total count as of today in the last 24 hours, India has recorded 258,089 cases on the whole. Now, breaking it down to states, Maharashtra is on top with 41,327 cases reported in Maharashtra in the last 24 hours. And then you have Tamil Nadu and Karnataka that's seeing a steady surge. Karnataka right on top with 34,000 cases. We're looking at 34,047 cases. After that, Tamil Nadu now reporting 23,975 COVID cases. And then you have Delhi at 18,286 COVID-19 cases reported in 24 hours, followed by Kerala at 18,123 cases reported. Now, as much as we see that the COVID cases are on the rise, but we're seeing a slight dip in the numbers in compared to the last few days. A slight dip there that we've seen in the COVID-19 cases across India. As of now, we register 2.58 lakh COVID cases in 24 hours, but the cases have slightly dipped compared to yesterday. India's active cases now are over 16.56 lakh. This is much lower than just 4 days ago when India recorded 20 lakh active COVID cases. Unfortunately, 385 people have died in the last 24 hours. The worrying trend, however, continues to be that of the positivity rate. Positivity rate has now been steadily increasing. The current positivity rate is at 19.5%. India's Omicron cases have also been increasing. Over 8,200 total Omicron cases now reported in India. Omicron cases are up by 6% compared to yesterday. But remember, Omicron cases, only that many tests or that many samples that are going for genome sequencing, they're able to establish whether it's Omicron or not. And genome sequencing isn't reaching up to the levels or the pace at which it should be. So the numbers of Omicron cases could very well be much higher than what's reported. Now, are Delhi and Mumbai beginning to flatten the Omicron-driven COVID curve? That's what we see, at least after days of record-shattering surge. Delhi now, the national capital, has witnessed a slight decline in the daily case count. Daily infections stood at a little over 18,000 cases, at least 2,000 cases down from Saturday's tally. Delhi Health Minister has hinted that the cases might just reduce further, and that would range between 13 to 14,000. That's what it's expected to drop in the next few days, the coming days. The current positivity rate in Delhi has decreased by 3%, a little over 27.8% now. Now, the number of total active COVID cases has reduced to 89,819 in Delhi. Mumbai also, on the other hand, has seen a slight decline in daily COVID numbers as 7,985 people have tested positive in last 24 hours. 11 COVID fatalities were reported in last 24 hours. Current positivity rate in the city was recorded at 14%. This comes as Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has hinted at reopening up of schools in the next 10 to 15 days.
डेफिनेटली दिल्ली में देखो चौथा दिन है जो लगातार जो डाउन जा रहे हैं, और मैंने पहले भी बताया था इसकी एडवांस इंडिकेशन उसी से आ गया था कि जो हॉस्पिटल एडमिशन थे, भाई एडवांस इंडिकेटर होता है हॉस्पिटल में एडमिशन की। हॉस्पिटल में एडमिशन की बढ़ने वाली रफ्तार रुक गई थी, तो हॉस्पिटल में एडमिशन बढ़ नहीं रहे, तो इसका मतलब थोड़े दिनों में रेट कम होने वाला है और कम हो चुका है।
In the last 24 hours, 7,895 COVID positive cases were witnessed in Mumbai from the 57,534 tests conducted across the city. 688 patients were hospitalized, while 11 deaths were also recorded. These numbers, if compared to the numbers witnessed last week, are much lesser, but the numbers of positive cases recorded through COVID self-test kits is yet to be known. With camera person Swaraj, this is Divyesh in Mumbai for India Today.
The bulls have been unleashed. The tamers out in the arena. It's Jallikattu season in Tamil Nadu. Pongal sport on under COVID shadow. Cap on crowds, tamers by the government. COVID curbs don't dampen spirits. India Today gets you all the Jallikattu action. Jallikattu amid pandemic.
All right, now Jallikattu is underway in Tamil Nadu amid the pandemic, the traditional bull-chasing sport of Tamil Nadu. It's day 3 at the traditional festival, and according to the state government, only 150 people are allowed to be present in that festival. But in Alanganallur, large crowds were seen gathering, eagerly waiting to watch the bull released from Vadivasal. With 2017 Marina protest, one can remember the massive protest that took place in 2017. The world finally got familiar with the Jallikattu sport and the kind of sentiments that as it really holds strong with the people of Tamil Nadu. In fact, it's inspired a 16-year-old girl, Sneha, as well to join in the sport. All right, India Today gets you all that action from the Jallikattu sport. My colleague Pramod Madhav on ground bringing you the mood from Madurai.
The third and the most important Jallikattu, Alanganallur Jallikattu, is occurring as we speak, and there you could see bulls are being released one after the other from the Vadivasal, and the bull tamers are trying to actually catch it. This is Alanganallur and one of the most important Jallikattu, and here the biggest challenge the state government is facing is the crowd control during the pandemic. In fact, because of the pandemic rules only, this Jallikattu was postponed by 1 day, and after that, it's occurring as we speak. The bull tamers inside, 300 bull tamers have been registered. Those, they have undergone double dose vaccination and an RT-PCR test 48 hours ago, and then only they are allowed here. 700 bulls have been registered so far, and various officials, including Animal Welfare Board of India officials, are also here to make sure that there is no animal cruelty. The collector is also over here, Madurai collector, who is also looking over the program to make sure that there is no untoward cruel events occurring at this spot. And this way, Alanganallur Jallikattu is occurring as we speak amidst pandemic. With Vijay Stivian, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
All right, now it's that time of the year in Tamil Nadu. The Pongal festivities kick in, and Jallikattu is back in the middle of the pandemic yet again. This year, the popular Pongal festival sport will be on this year with strict COVID protocols in place. Pramod Madhav there, furthermore, bringing us this detailed report from Madurai.
Jallikattu, the traditional bull taming sport of Tamil Nadu. Men using all their might to overpower a raging bull. A game which requires tons of strength, endurance, and of course, courage. It was during the 2017 Marina protest that the world came to know Jallikattu and its importance in the Tamil culture. 16-year-old Vela Kengachi alias Sneha is eager to watch the sport, not as a spectator, but in a different role. She will release her bull from Vadivasal. Sneha single-handedly takes care of Ariyamalai, a full-grown bull. She has even trained and released the bull at the prestigious Alanganallur Jallikattu.
ஜல்லிக்கட்டு போராட்டம் நடந்தப்ப எனக்கு மாடு வளர்க்கணும்னு ரொம்ப ஆசை. அதனால நான் எங்கள் அண்ணன்ட்ட சொன்னேன். எங்கள் அண்ணன் அப்பா கிட்ட சொல்லி வாங்கி கொடுத்தாங்க. அதுலேருந்து 7 வருஷமா மாடு வளர்த்திட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Training a bull is a Herculean task. Sneha takes Ariyamalai to lake twice in a week, as the bull only listens to her. With a childish innocence, the 16-year-old explains how the bull is part of her family.
மாடு கடலை மிட்டாய்னா ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். தம்பிங்களோட நல்லா விளையாடும், என் கூடயும் நல்லா விளையாடும். வீட்டில் அமைதியாக இருக்கும். வயக்காட்டுக்கு போச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப சேட்டை செய்யும், மண்ணு குத்தும், இந்த மாதிரி வேலை நிறையா பண்ணும்.
Sneha holds a rare distinction of being one of the few women who brings the bull to Vadivasal and releases it.
எல்லாரும் அவுத்தாங்க, ஆம்பளை பசங்களாம் அவுத்தாங்க, பொம்பளை பிள்ளையா நான் ஒரு ஆள் அவுக்கணும்னு சொல்லி ஆசைப்பட்டனால அவுத்தேன். வீர தமிழத்தோட அடையாளம் அது வாசி அது ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும் எனக்கு.
Aryamalai is in a state of rage currently because he's been participating in Jallikattu, but he's quiet and he's letting us this much close, all because of Sneha, a Veera Tamilichi from Tamil Nadu, who got inspired because of Jallikattu after the protest. And not just that, she's showing the entire world how these indigenous bulls from Tamil Nadu are, how friendly they are and how they are being treated as a part of the family. With viewers Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India.
Now, legendary Kathak dancer Brij Mohar Mishra, popularly known as Pandit Birju Maharaj, has passed away at his home in Delhi after suffering a heart attack. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he was deeply saddened at the demise of Pandit Birju Maharaj and recognized the immense contribution he's made to Kathak. In fact, the Kathak legend has unfortunately passed away, an exponent of Lucknow Kalka Binda Din Gharana. In fact, Birju Maharaj was a descendant of the Maharaj family of Kathak dancers and was one of India's best-known Kathak artists. He began performing as a child alongside his father and became a guru in his teens. The 83-year-old has been diagnosed with kidney ailment days ago and has been on dialysis. He was awarded the Padma Vibhushan in 1986 and even won the National Award for Best Choreography for the song Unnai Kannathu in Kamal Haasan starrer Vishwarupam, a film that was made in 2012. Unfortunately, we've lost the maestro. Now, the hunt is on for Virat Kohli's successor as Test captain, all set in top gear. In fact, top BCCI officials and selectors will be sitting with coach Rahul Dravid along with Rohit Sharma there and KL Rahul for further discussions. Sources say that Rohit has experience of all format and that he has done captaincy as and when that was required of him. He was also deputy of Virat and remains the front runner. Meanwhile, KL Rahul's form in England and South Africa has pushed him into the Test vice-captain's role in Rohit Sharma's absence. Selectors may be tempted to pick him, keeping in mind that Rohit is mostly injury-prone. On the other hand, cricket legend Sunil Gavaskar has been backing young Rishabh Pant to be leading Team India in the Tests. For more information on that, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Stay tuned. I'm going to come back with the top headlines.